You thought your pain had no purpose. You thought the storm you went through was just punishment. But I tell you, beloved, every tear that fell from your eyes, every night you spent awake wondering why, every time you were misunderstood, rejected, or broken, none of it was wasted. I was there in the silence. I was there when you couldn't feel me. I was turning what was meant to destroy you into something that will define you. Because pain in my hands never stays pain, it becomes power. What you thought was your ending is only the beginning of a greater anointing. The crushing was not to kill you but to release what was inside you. The oil only flows when the olive is crushed, and you, my child, have been through the crushing because I saw something powerful within you that needed to come out. You said, "God, why me?" And I whispered, "Because I trusted you with the trial. Others could not handle what you carried. Others would have given up, but I chose you because I knew the fire would not consume you, it would refine you. I knew that the same pain that broke your heart would become the power that touches others. You see, when you walk through pain with me, it becomes a testimony. The enemy tried to use it to make you bitter, but I'm using it to make you better. The very thing that tried to destroy you will become the evidence of my glory upon your life. When you cried in secret, I saw it. When you questioned your worth, I heard it. When you thought I was silent, I was actually working behind the scenes. You didn't lose time, you were being built. You didn't lose faith, it was being purified. Every delay had design. Every heartbreak had hidden instruction. You didn't understand it then, but I was writing your redemption story. Because you cannot have true authority without affliction. You cannot carry light without first walking through darkness. You cannot speak healing unless you've known what it feels like to bleed. I know you wanted it to be easy. I know you prayed for peace but instead met pressure. I know you prayed for blessing but found betrayal. But remember this, the cross came before the crown. And you are walking the same road I walked. Every betrayal you faced brought you closer to your purpose. Every loss you endured created room for my promise. Every no you heard was a redirection, not rejection. Because I was turning your pain into power, shaping you into someone the enemy can no longer shake. You thought you were losing strength, but I was giving you new strength. You thought the pain was punishment, but it was preparation. The version of you that existed before the pain could not handle the destiny I have prepared for you. So, I allowed the breaking, not to shame you, but to shape you. I allowed the tears, not to weaken you, but to water the seeds I planted within you. You wanted comfort, I wanted character. You wanted relief, I wanted resilience. Because I'm not just giving you blessings, I'm building you to hold them. Do you remember the moments you felt abandoned? The nights when you said, "God, where are you?" I was closer than your breath. I was holding the pieces of your heart that you thought were shattered beyond repair. You didn't see me, but I was right there, turning pain into purpose, loss into learning, rejection into redirection. You were praying for escape, but I was planning elevation. You wanted to be delivered from the fire, but I wanted to show you that you can walk through it and not be burned. Because your story will not end in ashes, it will rise in glory. You are not what happened to you, you are what I'm doing through you. Your scars are not signs of defeat, they are signs that you survived something that was meant to destroy you. Every scar tells a story of grace, endurance, and divine strength. The pain you felt taught you empathy. The heartbreak gave you depth. The waiting taught you trust. And now you will use what once hurt you to heal others. The same voice that once cried out in pain will now speak with power. The same hands that once trembled will now lift others up. I never promised you a life without pain, but I did promise that I would use everything for your good. You see, even when life seems unfair, I am still faithful. Even when doors close, I am still directing. Even when people walk away, I am still working. Because I am not finished with you. You've cried, but you will also rejoice. You've lost, but you will also gain. You've been broken, but you will also be rebuilt, stronger, wiser, and more anointed. The very thing that once caused you pain will become the very thing that empowers you to walk in purpose. Do not despise your pain, for it is the birthplace of power. When I allowed you to go through that season of loneliness, it was not punishment, it was an invitation to intimacy with me. When I let you experience loss, it was not because I wanted to hurt you, but because I wanted you to see that I am all you truly need. When you lost people, I sent purpose. When you lost direction, I gave you destiny. When everything fell apart, I was rebuilding your foundation on something unshakable, my love. Every trial you faced was teaching you something your comfort never could. You learned to pray not because things were perfect, but because they weren't. You learned to trust me not because you had all the answers, but because you didn't. You learned to forgive not because it was easy, but because it was necessary. And through it all, I was turning pain into power, transforming wounds into wisdom, sorrow into strength. You became who you are not in the light of ease, but in the shadow of endurance. The world looks at pain and sees weakness. But I look at pain and see a weapon, forged in fire, tempered in tears. Every time you chose faith over fear, power grew within you. Every time you chose love over bitterness, you became more like me. Every time you kept walking when you wanted to quit, heaven noticed. You may think no one saw your quiet obedience, your silent battles, your private pain, but I saw it all. And I am rewarding it. The tables are turning. The same place where you cried will become the place where you conquer. The same people who doubted you will witness what I do through you. Don't rush what I'm building in you. I am not only restoring what was lost, I am renewing what you thought was dead. The process may be painful, but the purpose will be powerful. The seed must die before it lives. The clay must be crushed before it becomes a vessel. The heart must break before it becomes compassionate. So trust my process even when it hurts. You prayed for power, this is how I give it. Through pain comes strength. Through suffering comes revelation. Through brokenness comes blessing. You've said, God, I don't know how much longer I can take this. And I say, you are closer to breakthrough than you think. Every time you said you couldn't go on but still did, that was power rising. Every time you were hurt but still chose to forgive, that was power rising. Every time you were disappointed but still believed, that was power rising. Every pain you endured was producing something greater within you. I have been refining you like gold, removing impurities, revealing beauty. The pressure was not punishment, it was purpose. You are stepping into a season where what once broke you will bless you. The tears you cried in private will be turned into testimonies in public. The pain that once silenced you will now become your platform. You will speak from scars, not from shame. And those who hear you will know that only I could have brought you through it. The pain had to happen so that purpose could live. The betrayal had to happen so that boldness could rise. The loss had to happen so that love could deepen. I know you don't see it all yet. But one day, you'll look back and say, if I hadn't gone through that, I wouldn't be who I am today. Because the pain pushed you toward purpose. The suffering led you to strength. And the heartbreak drew you to my heart. You will see that nothing was wasted, not one tear, not one moment, not one heartbreak. I've used it all. You've been through fire, but you're coming out refined. You've been through storms, but you're coming out stronger. I am turning your pain into power by turning your perspective. You used to see it as loss, now you'll see it as learning. You used to see it as failure, now you'll see it as formation. You used to see it as rejection, now you'll see it as redirection. I'm teaching you to look at your wounds and say, even this worked for my good. Because when you start seeing through faith instead of fear, that's when pain loses its power over you and starts serving its purpose for you. You are about to carry an authority that can only come from surviving what you did. People will feel peace when you walk in the room because they'll sense that you've met pain and conquered it. They'll hear hope when you speak because they'll know your words were born in fire. They'll see light in your eyes because they'll know you've seen darkness and still chose to believe. That is the power I'm giving you, not the power to avoid pain, but the power to overcome it. When others see ashes, I see an altar. When others see brokenness, I see beauty. When others see failure, I see faith. Because I am not done writing your story. There's more glory ahead than grief behind. You will not always hurt the way you do now. The same place that broke you will soon bless you. The same pain that felt endless will soon make sense. You will thank me for what didn't work out, because it led you to something better. You will thank me for what you lost, because it made room for what you're gaining. You are not powerless. You are being empowered. You are not forgotten. You are being favored. You are not abandoned. You are being anointed. Every ounce of pain has been fuel for your next season. You thought you were falling apart, but you were falling into purpose. You thought it was over, but it was only the turning point. The same hands that allowed the breaking are the same hands now bringing the blessing. I have not forgotten one promise. I have not wasted one moment. I am faithful to complete what I started in you. So stand firm, my child. Lift your head. Wipe your tears. What's ahead is greater than what's behind. You are stepping into the season where your pain becomes your platform, your wounds become your wisdom, your trials become your testimony. You will no longer walk in fear of what broke you, because now you carry power over it. You will speak with authority because you've lived what others only read about. You will walk with grace because you've tasted sorrow. And you will love deeply because you've known loss. You thought your pain disqualified you, but it qualified you for greater things. You thought you were finished, but I was just getting started. I am raising you from the ashes. I am clothing you in strength. I am restoring joy to your soul. And soon you will look back on this season and say, "It hurt, but it helped. It broke me, but it built me. It crushed me, but it called me." Because through it all, I was turning your pain into power, molding you into the vessel I always knew you could be. You are my masterpiece in progress. Every dark stroke is part of the painting. Every broken piece is part of the mosaic. Every painful chapter is part of the story that ends in glory. So do not despise what made you cry, for those tears watered the ground for your next harvest. What the enemy meant for evil, I have turned for good. What tried to take your life will now testify of my power. And the same heart that once ached will soon overflow with gratitude. Hold on. You're almost there. The weight is heavy because the calling is great. The warfare is intense because the impact will be immense. You are not being buried, you are being planted. And what comes next will be beautiful. Soon you will see that the pain was not wasted. It was the very soil from which your power would grow. You will rise, not the same, but stronger, wiser, softer, and more radiant with my presence. Because I, the Lord your God, am turning your pain into power. And when I am done, the world will not recognize you by your wounds, but by your wisdom. They will not see your scars as shame, but as signs of survival. They will not call you broken, but blessed. For what once hurt you now helps you. What once crushed you now crowns you. What once defeated you now defines you. You were chosen for this. You were trusted with this. You were strengthened by this. The storm did not stop you. It sent you. The pain did not destroy you. It developed you. The suffering did not silence you. It sanctified you. And now you will walk in power, not the power of pride, but the power of purpose. Not the power of control, but the power of compassion. Because the greatest power of all is to love again after being hurt, to hope again after being disappointed, to believe again after being broken. So rise, beloved. The night is ending. The pain has served its purpose. The dawn is breaking. And the power that was being forged in your darkest moments is now ready to shine. You are not who you were before the pain. You are who I always destined you to be through it. And now, the world will see not your wounds, but my glory. For I am the God who turns pain into power, and your story is proof. You see now, don't you? The pain wasn't the end, it was the awakening. The darkness you walked through was not meant to hide you, it was meant to reveal you. You were never forgotten, never abandoned, never unseen. Every lonely night, every tear that fell, every silent prayer you whispered, I was listening. I was shaping something within you that could not be built in comfort. I was forging strength that only fire can create. What others saw as your breakdown was actually my breakthrough. There were times when you said, "God, I can't handle this anymore." But you did. There were moments when you wanted to give up, yet somehow, you kept walking. That wasn't just your strength, that was mine flowing through you. Because even when you didn't know how to go on, grace carried you. Every step you took through the valley became a declaration that pain would not win. You may have been hurt, but you were never hopeless. You may have been broken, but you were never beyond repair. I know how heavy it's been. I know the weight you carried that no one else could see. I know the way you smiled in public while silently fighting battles in private. But I was with you in every hidden moment. I saw you when no one else did. I caught the tears that never hit the floor. I heard the words you were too tired to pray. And I was turning it all into something beautiful, something eternal. Because every great calling comes with great crushing. Every chosen soul must walk through seasons of breaking. But the breaking is not your burial, it's your becoming. There's a reason I let you face what you faced. You needed to learn what strength really means, not strength that comes from control, but strength that comes from surrender. You needed to discover peace that isn't dependent on circumstance, but anchored in faith. You needed to know that joy isn't found in everything going right, but in knowing that I'm with you even when everything feels wrong. Your pain brought you to a deeper understanding of me, not the God of convenience, but the God of covenant. You see, when I said, "I will never leave you," I meant it. Even when you doubted me. Even when you turned away. Even when you couldn't feel my presence, I was closer than you knew. Because my love is not fragile. It doesn't disappear when you fall. It doesn't fade when you fail. It stays. It fights. It restores. I've been turning your pain into a power that will not just change you, but change others through you. You thought you lost everything, but in truth, you gained something greater. You found me in a deeper way. You found a love that can't be shaken. You found peace that doesn't depend on outcomes. You found hope that doesn't expire. You learned that when everything else falls apart, I still remain. And that revelation, that unshakable awareness of my presence, is your power. Because now, no storm can take away what I've placed inside you. Do you remember when you asked me, "Why do they get it easy while I have to struggle?" It's because I'm not building ordinary in you, I'm building extraordinary. I'm giving you a faith that doesn't crumble. I'm giving you wisdom that cannot be taught in classrooms. I'm giving you empathy that can only come from experience. You are being molded into a vessel that can carry my power, not just my promises. And vessels that carry power must be purified by pain. I know you wanted a quick fix. You wanted me to remove the struggle. But I love you too much to give you shortcuts that would stunt your growth. I'm not just answering prayers, I'm building character. I'm not just giving you blessings, I'm preparing you to hold them. The delay wasn't denial, it was development. The silence wasn't absence, it was strategy. I was waiting for the right time, the time when your pain would no longer control you, but empower you. Look at how far you've come. You've endured what should have destroyed you. You've outlasted storms that were meant to sink you. You've grown in ways you don't even realize. The very thing that once made you cry now makes you compassionate. The same pain that broke you now makes you bold. The wounds that once embarrassed you now carry wisdom. That's what I do. I redeem what was ruined. I resurrect what was buried. I turn pain into power and victims into victors. When they walked away, it hurt, but I was using that to make room for something greater. When they lied about you, it stung, but I was protecting you from the wrong voices. When they rejected you, it broke you, but it pushed you closer to me. Every loss had hidden love inside it. Every heartbreak had hidden hope inside it. You thought it was destruction, but it was construction. I was tearing down what was weak to build something that would last. You see, I had to separate you from some people because they couldn't go where I'm taking you. I had to strip away what was temporary so that you could receive what is eternal. I had to allow you to feel emptiness so that you could finally be filled with me. You prayed for my presence. This is how I answered. I removed distractions. I silenced noise. I took you through seasons of solitude so you could hear my voice clearly. It wasn't rejection, it was redirection toward revelation. You've been asking me, when will it all make sense? Soon it will. Because I've been aligning everything behind the scenes. The puzzle pieces that seemed random will start to form a picture of purpose. The moments that didn't make sense will now show meaning. You'll realize that I never wasted your waiting. Every delay was deliberate. Every tear was training. Every pain was producing power. I'm not only restoring what was lost, I'm multiplying it. The years you thought were wasted are being redeemed. The energy you thought was gone is being renewed. The dreams you buried are being resurrected. You're about to step into a season where the lessons from your pain will become the fuel for your purpose. You'll speak from experience, and others will find healing through your words. You'll walk with authority because you've endured adversity. You'll carry light because you've known darkness. You will see that your pain was actually your preparation for power. The moments you questioned me were the moments I was anchoring you deeper in faith. The nights you couldn't sleep were the nights I was fighting battles for you. The tears you shed were watering the ground for your next blessing. And now, harvest time is near. The seed you planted in pain will grow into power that blesses many. You don't need to hide your scars. They tell the story of survival. They tell the world that grace works, that faith stands, that love wins. Every scar is a sermon. Every wound is a witness. You've been tested, but now you're being trusted. The enemy tried to silence you, but now I'm amplifying your voice. You'll speak life where you once felt lifeless. You'll bring hope where you once felt hopeless. You'll walk into rooms and shift the atmosphere because you carry the evidence of endurance. You used to ask, "Why me?" But soon you'll say, "Thank you, Lord, for trusting me with this." Because what you went through made you unshakable. It refined your discernment. It deepened your compassion. It prepared you to love even those who hurt you. That's real power, not revenge, but redemption. Not bitterness, but blessing. You're learning to respond with grace instead of anger, and that's a reflection of my spirit within you. Don't let the past define you. Let it remind you of what you've overcome. You've been through too much to doubt now. You've seen too much to stop now. Every trial has built something eternal inside you. You're not who you were before the pain, you've evolved. You've become softer and stronger at the same time. Your faith is quieter but deeper. Your hope is steadier because it's no longer based on what happens, but on who I am. I am the God who restores. I am the God who renews. And I am not finished with you yet. What I started, I will complete. You will see redemption where there was ruin. You will see resurrection where there was loss. You will see joy rise from the same place where sorrow lived. You will stand in the very places that once broke you and realize they built you. You will thank me for the pain because it brought the power. And when you walk into the next chapter, you'll carry something the enemy can't steal: perspective. You'll know that storms don't last forever. You'll know that wounds don't define worth. You'll know that endings are often beginnings in disguise. You'll live from peace, not panic. From faith, not fear. From purpose, not pain. Because now you understand, power was never about control. It was about trust. You're entering a new season. The weight you carried is lifting. The heaviness that surrounded your heart is breaking. You will laugh again, not the forced laughter of survival, but the free laughter of healing. You will love again, not from fear of loss, but from fullness of faith. You will dream again, not because you're naive, but because you now know that even if pain comes, power will follow. I am restoring everything the enemy tried to take from you. I'm restoring your voice. I'm restoring your joy. I'm restoring your courage to believe again. The fire you went through was refining, not running. And what emerged is pure gold. You will no longer be defined by what hurt you, but by how I healed you. And those who once pitied you will soon see the power of my presence in your life. Remember, power without pain is shallow. But power born from pain carries compassion. You'll notice the broken now. You'll pause for the hurting. You'll see beyond the smile because you've been there. You'll carry light into dark places because you know what it's like to be there. Your ministry, your calling, your influence, they are all being birthed from the pain you endured. Nothing was wasted. Not even the tears you tried to hide. When I said I'd use all things for good, I meant all things. the mistakes, the heartbreaks, the losses, the disappointments. I can turn every piece of your past into a purpose for your future. That's how powerful I am. And now, you'll see me do what eyes have not seen and ears have not heard, because you stayed faithful in the fire. You didn't quit when it hurt. You didn't stop when it was silent. You trusted when it didn't make sense. And now you'll see why I let it happen. The pain made you powerful, but also peaceful. It gave you wisdom that doesn't need to shout. It gave you confidence that doesn't need to compare. It gave you a faith that doesn't fear the unknown. That's the kind of power the world can't take away. It's divine. It's eternal. It's yours. So now walk forward, not wounded, but wise. Not bitter, but better. Not afraid, but anointed. Because your pain was not your punishment. It was your preparation. Your valley was not your verdict. It was your victory in disguise. You are proof that what breaks others can build those who believe. You are living evidence that pain can be transformed into power in the hands of God. And when you tell your story, speak of the goodness, not just the grief. Tell them how you made it. Tell them who carried you. Tell them what you learned. Tell them that God turns pain into power, fear into faith, ashes into beauty, and despair into destiny. Tell them that nothing is wasted when it's placed in His hands. Because that's what you are now, a walking miracle, a vessel of power, a testimony of transformation. So when you look back on your journey, don't just see the pain, see the purpose. Don't just see what was lost, see what was gained. Don't just see who left, see who stayed. Because I was always there, turning everything for your good. And I will continue to do so until every wound becomes wisdom and every test becomes testimony. You are stepping into days of light. You are rising into strength. You are moving from pain to power, not because the pain vanished, but because you learned to rise above it. The same fire that once burned you now fuels you. The same storm that once scared you now strengthens you. The same darkness that once surrounded you now bows to the light inside you. I am proud of you. You didn't give up. You didn't let bitterness win. You didn't let despair take your destiny. You kept walking, kept believing, kept holding on. And now, you'll walk in the power that was forged through every ounce of pain. The story that began in tears will end in triumph. Because I, the Lord your God, turn pain into power, always have, always will.